Hello everyone. So in this session we will be discussing about the next concept in principles of inheritance and variation. In the last class, as you know, we discussed about the dihybrid cross. Taking one more example from 7 contrasting character. So we crossed that also. And as I told you in the last class, we will be discussing about the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Before knowing the chromosomal theory of inheritance, I'd like to tell you some description or some concept regarding the trihybrid cross. So trihybrid cross, from the point of view from the competitive exams or from the NEET exams, so this trihybrid cross, they'll ask you how many types of gamete releases in the trihybrid ratio or trihybrid cross. They'll ask you in the examination. So that point of view will describe how the three character expresses simultaneously, which is known as trihybrid cross. To understand monohybrid cross, we took one example, right? One example in sense, one character, one contrasting character. Very first I took the tall and dwarf, right? To understand the dihybrid ratio, dihybrid cross, we took two contrasting characters, that is round and yellow and wrinkle and green. So those two characters, contrasting characters, we crossed and we got the ratio, and we put the Punnett square and then we got the ratio. So today we are going to understand the trihybrid cross or trihybrid ratio or trihybrid concept. So the name itself saying three characters or three contrasting characters we have to take from the pea plants. From the pea plant, in sense what we studied in the introduction class, out of 7 contrasting character, I am going to select 3 contrasting character to understand this trihybrid cross. So I'll write here the parents first. The parents generation will be any concept or any contrasting character you can select. It's not like whatever I write on the board you have to write the same, but the thing is any contrasting character you can select, but the thing is the ratio should match in your answer. The parents are tall, purple and axial. So whenever we select in the F1 hybrid or in the F1 generation, the parents should be pure line. Okay, pure line in sense it should be in a homozygous condition. One parent is dominant homozygous condition. One more parent, what I am selecting here, it will be pure line and it is a recessive character. For the tall, what I have to write here? I have to write here the dwarf contrasting character. For the purple, what I should write here? I should write the white, and for the axial, it should be terminal. So one character, one more, the same correct character. So for the tall, dwarf will be the alternate recessive contrasting character. For the purple, white will be the recessive character. For the axial, terminal will be the recessive character. So these are the 3 contrasting character what I have selected. And after writing the parents or the phenotype, you can write the phenotype or you can write the parent. What is next? You have to write the genotype. So the genotype will be like this: capital P, capital T, capital P, capital A. When it cross with the pure line, recessive, homozygous condition, dwarf plant, it will be having the stem length will be short in nature, the flower color will be white, and the position of the flower will be at the terminal position. To that plant we are crossing this type of pea plant. So these are the genotype. So let me write the genotype. I have written the gametes here. Genotype should be in a pair condition. Capital T, capital T, capital P, capital P, capital A, capital A. And then small t, small t, small p, small p, small a, small a. Got it? So that is the genotype of the parent. Take out the gametes of these. The gametes will be like, out of these two, out of the pair gene, only one allele you have to write here, because it says in the law of segregation, the alleles or the pair of alleles or the genes at the time of gametes formation, it will get separate or it will get segregate. One of the gene, it will inherit or it will transmit to the gamete. Capital T, capital P and capital A, small t, small p and small a. So these are the gametes. And now cross these gametes. Take this as male and that as female. What you will get in the F1 generation? In the F1 generation, all the offsprings will be tall and purple and axial character plant. So the same character plant we got in the F1 generation also, but look at the genotype. It is not a pure line or it is not a true breed. It is in heterozygous condition. We'll come to know when we self-pollinate this F1 generation, we'll come to know the purity of the offspring. By looking at the plant, we cannot judge it is in a homozygous condition or in a heterozygous condition. It will come to know when it gets self-crossed with the same plant. So what you have to write here? You have to write here like tall, purple and axial plant. Put it in a bracket. Okay, so that's all about the F1 generation tri-hybrid cross. What you have to do next? You have to self-pollinate the F1 generation. So we'll start writing the F1 generation or F2 generation. The next following procedure will be the F2 generation. In the F2 generation, the parents or let me write the phenotype of the parent. Okay, either this or that you can write. Either you can write the parents or you can write the phenotype. Both are correct. So we are starting with the F2 generation. By which plant we are selecting in the F2 generation? We are selecting the F1 generation offspring. We are self-pollinating that offspring. What we got here, no, that is the same thing we are crossing here in the F2 generation. So what we got? We got that tall, purple and axial plant, and with the same we are crossing, or it means we are self-pollinating. The genotype of the genotype of the F2 generation is, you have to write here the careful, the genotype. It is not in a homozygous condition. it is in heterozygous condition. Like this it is. And capital T, small t, capital P, small p, capital A, small e. So that is the genotype of what? F2 generation. Now, how to take the gametes of these heterozygous condition plant? Here, look at this. Look at the board carefully. Taking out the gametes. When we studying about in the dihybrid cross, what we did? We put the Punnett square, and when I start telling about the gametes of dihybrid cross, I explained the law of independent assortment. Each and every gene or each and every character, the genes, it independently assort itself. Independently it will get assort. So that explanation comes under, or that explanation or that description, it tells about the law of independent assortment. So here the same thing, the law of independent assortment, that same thing it follows, but the gametes are little bit lengthy, like the number of gametes are more than compared to the number of gametes of dihybrid cross. I'll write, just look at this. I'm taking the gametes of what is that, dihybrid cross. Here it will be 8 gametes. See, 8 gametes, it produces 8 type of gametes. See, here out of these two, only one gene carried in one gamete. Out of these two, only one gene carried in one gamete. Out of these two, one gene. So all these gametes are producing from this parent. Like that, respectively, you have to write the same type of gametes from this parent. Why I am telling the same type of gamete? Because we are self-pollinating the plants here. So I have written only one parent gamete here. When I start putting the Punnett square, you will come to know the gametes, the male parent gamete and female parent gamete. So just think of this. One parent is producing 8 type of gamete, one more is producing 8 type of gametes. When we cross those gametes, we will be getting 64 type of offsprings. Okay, so we have to put the Punnett square, it should be, the Punnett square will be having 64 boxes. It means 64 boxes in sense 64 types of offsprings. So how it will be? We'll see now. We'll put the Punnett square. So what you have to do now? You have to write these gametes in this portion, and you have to write the same gametes in this portion, and then in the next place or in the next space put the whatever I'll write here. No, just put that same, because this trihybrid cross ratio I won't give in the PDF notes. You have to follow from this class itself, because this is a little bit extra concept, that's why. So I have started writing the Punnett square. So count it, count the boxes, count the columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Alright, all the boxes you have to fill now, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll erase the headline. I'll rub it so that I can write the. Yes, 8 columns and 8 rows we got, and start writing the gametes at the top of the box and at the left corner of the box. Here what you have to write, the male parent and the female parent. Okay, shall we start now? Because we have to write the genotype and phenotype now, that's why I am making the boxes little bit broader. Gametes. Simultaneously I am writing the female gametes also to avoid the confusion. What you have to write now? You have to cross the gametes. I'll show you only 10 gametes. How to cross the gametes I'll show you, and just fill all the things. After filling, what you have to do? You have to write the phenotype also. How to fill these boxes? Just observe this. Capital T, capital T, capital P, and capital A, capital A. Okay, like that you have to write the gametes. After writing this, what you have to do? You have to write the phenotype. Tall, purple, axial. Like that, complete the columns, complete the boxes, complete the squares. Capital T, capital T, capital P, capital A, small a. Tall, purple, axial. Capital T, small t, capital P, capital A, capital A. Tall, purple, axial. And capital T, capital P, small p, capital A, capital A. Tall, purple, axial. Are you following me? Like that, complete the whole thing. Capital T, small t, capital P, small p, capital A, capital A. It means tall, purple, axial. Okay, and the thing is, next is capital T, small t, capital P, capital P, capital A, small a. Okay, this is capital P. Don't get confused. Okay, and write the phenotype of this: tall, purple, and axial. And in the next box, what you have to write? Tall, purple, axial. Capital T, capital, this is capital T, okay. Capital P, small p, capital A, small e. Tall, purple, axial. And then capital T, small t, capital P, small p, capital A, small e. Tall, purple, axial. So like that, fill all the Punnett square so that we'll get 64 different types of offsprings. Okay, at last I'll write few gametes. Here I'll write see, in this column I got tall, purple, terminal, offspring. This is terminal. Like that, I'll write a few more gametes. Capital T, small p, small p, small a, tall, white, terminal, and capital T, small p, small a, tall, white, terminal, and next line I'll write this one. I'm writing capital T, small t, small p, small a, and that is tall, white, terminal. And at the last, small t, small p, small a, dwarf, white, terminal. So this offspring is pure recessive gene it is having, and the pea plant is the length of the pea plant is dwarf, the color of the flower is white, and the position of the flower is terminal. So likewise, what you have to do, you have to complete the whole thing and submit it to me. And if you have any doubts, ask me in the message itself. I'll clear it out. And remember, only one question they'll select in the tri-hybrid cross. How many types of gametes the plant releases in the tri-hybrid cross? The answer is 8. Okay, thank you.